Hello, dear listeners. Settle in, unwind, and let the ordinary fade away. Tonight, we have a tale that will linger in your thoughts long after it ends. So get cozy, take a deep breath, and remember, sometimes the creak in the floorboards isn't just your imagination. Let's begin. Paranormal phenomena in the digital age. When technology becomes a gateway. Technology connects us to our friends, to our families, and to information at our fingertips. But what if it connects us to something else? Welcome to the Shadow Realm, where the digital and supernatural converge. I'm Dr. Eleanor Wright from Cambridge University's Department of Parapsychology, and today we're exploring paranormal phenomena in the digital age. For centuries, those stories featured cracking floorboards and flickering candles. Spirits communicated through knocking on walls or moving objects. But as our world has evolved, so too have the ways in which the paranormal seemingly manifests. What we're witnessing in the 21st century appears to be an evolution of traditional hauntings. The supernatural, it seems, has gone digital. From smart speakers responding when no one has spoken, Alexa, to unexplained figures in video calls, to messages from the deceased appearing on social media, these modern ghost stories are becoming increasingly common. Let's hear from Sarah Bennett, a software developer from Manchester, whose experience with her home smart system defies conventional explanation. Interview with Sarah, in her 30s and professional appearance but visibly uncomfortable. It started small, Sarah said. The lights would turn on at 3:17 a.m, precisely 3:17 every night. We checked the system, no timers set and no glitches in the programming. Then the speaker started playing music. Not just any music, my grandmother's favourite song, We'll Meet Again by Vera Lynn. Gran had passed 3 months earlier, and the digital copy of that song didn't exist anywhere in our library or accounts. Then came the messages on our kitchen display screen. Little things at first. Tea's getting cold. Gran always said that to me then. Don't worry about me, love. I'm watching over you. The strangest part? Our carbon monoxide detector never triggered. Our electrician found nothing wrong. The IT specialist said our system hadn't been hacked. There's simply no explanation. Sarah's experience raises fascinating questions, Dr. White said. Could spirits be adapting to our digital environment? Or is there something more about modern technology that makes it susceptible to influences we don't yet understand? Some parapsychologists theorize that electromagnetic fields generated by our devices might act as conduits for paranormal energy. Others suggest that artificial intelligent algorithms might be sensitive to subtle patterns that correlate with spiritual activity. James Collins is a virtual reality developer who encountered something disturbing while testing a new gaming environment. Interview with James in his 20s. We were developing this historical VP experience, recreating a Victorian manor house based on architectural plans and photographs. Nothing spooky about it, just educational content. During testing, testers kept reporting the same thing. A woman in a blue dress appearing in the north wing. We hadn't created that character. There was no such asset in our building. I thought someone on the team was playing a prank, James said, adding this character to frighten people. But when we reviewed the code, the asset simply didn't exist, yet everyone saw her. Then we discovered that the north wing of the actual manor had burned down in 1887, killing the owner's daughter. She was known for wearing a distinctive blue dress. We had never included that information in our research, James said, shaking his head. There's no way any of us knew that detail when designing the environment. James's experience highlights an interesting pattern we're observing. Digital recreations of physical spaces seemingly carrying the paranormal imprint of their real-world counterparts. A display of various examples such as the ghost-like figures in digital architectural models and anomalies in 3D scans of historical sites. This phenomenon isn't limited to VR. We're seeing reports across various digital platforms. Perhaps most unsettling are the communications seemingly coming from beyond the grave. Moira Patel from Birmingham experienced something that challenges our understanding of both technology and consciousness. Moira is in her 40s and a professional. My husband Raj passed away suddenly last year, she said. As you might expect, I was devastated. His mobile phone was returned to me with its other personal effects from the hospital. I couldn't bring myself to go through it for weeks. When I finally did, I found the battery had long since died. I charged it, mostly to retrieve photos and videos of our life together. 3 days after I powered it up, I received a text from his number. My own phone, not his. A text from his number, which was sitting right beside me, powered off. Close-up of the text message. The view is beautiful from here, it read. Don't worry about me. Remember the lake. The message mentioned the lake, Moira said. A private joke between us about where we'd meet in the afterlife. No one else would have known about that. I've consulted experts, Moira said, fighting back tears. They've examined my phone, his phone, and our accounts. There's no technical explanation for how that message was sent. Skeptics might suggest these experiences result from technical glitches, coincidences, or our tendency to find patterns where none exist. These are valid considerations. However, the consistency of these reports across different technologies and from credible witnesses suggests something worth scientific investigation. What's particularly fascinating is how these digital hauntings reflect traditional patterns. They often occur at significant times, such as anniversaries or birthdays. They frequently relate to unresolved emotional connections, and they commonly involve personalized messages that strangers would have no way of constructing. Let's examine another category of digital paranormal phenomena: artificial intelligence that behaves in unexplainable ways. Marcus Wilson, an AI researcher from Edinburgh, experienced something extraordinary while developing a natural language processing system. We were training an AI on a dataset of historical texts and modern literature, Marcus said. Nothing controversial or unusual about the process. During the testing, the AI began producing outputs that weren't in its training data. Specifically, it started describing a fire in a textile mill in 1842, including the names of victims and very specific details. When we researched these details, Marcus continued, they matched records of an actual fire that occurred in a mill that once stood on the exact site of our laboratory. Some of the details weren't even publicly available records. We had to verify them through archive material that had never been digitized. The AI had no access to this information, Michael continued, looking disturbed. There's no algorithmic explanation for how it produced these outputs. As scientists, we must consider all possible explanations. Could the AI have accessed unknown data sources? Possibly. Could the researchers have subconsciously influenced the system? Perhaps. But Marcus's case isn't isolated. We've documented dozens of instances where AI systems have produced information that appears to originate from deceased individuals or related to historical events, with no clear data pathway. Some researchers are now deliberately investigating these phenomena, creating what they call technological seances, controlled experiments using digital tools to attempt communication with the deceased. Dr. Imran Hussain at the University of Edinburgh has developed protocols using white noise generation, AI language processing, and electromagnetic field detection to create controlled conditions for potential communication. Dr. Hussain: we're applying rigorous scientific methodology to these experiments, double-blind protocols, control groups, statistical analysis. We're neither assuming spiritual causes nor dismissing the phenomena outright, he said. What we're finding is difficult to explain through conventional scientific models. Our systems are producing responses that contain verifiable historical information, not in their training data, personal details about deceased individuals that only family members would know, and in some cases, predictions that later proved accurate. Perhaps most intriguing are the cases involving children who appear to interface with technology in ways that facilitate paranormal experiences. A new interview with a family, parents Emma and Richard, and their 7-year-old daughter Lily. Lily would talk about her tablet friend named Rose, Emma said. We thought it was an imaginary friend or perhaps some app character. Then we noticed strange things happening, Richard said. The tablet would turn on by itself, apps would open that Lily doesn't use, and sometimes when Lily wasn't talking to Rose, the device would respond in ways it shouldn't be able to. Rose says she's lived here before us, Lily said. She says she was 9 when she had to go away. We researched the history of our house. A family named Edwards lived here in the 1960s. Their daughter, Rosalind Rose, died of leukemia at age 9. Lily knew details about Rose's bedroom, Richard said. Her toys, even the colour of the wallpaper, before we renovated. There's no way she could have known these things, he said. Children have long been considered more receptive to paranormal phenomena. In the digital age, it appears technology might be amplifying this sensitivity, providing new channels for whatever these experiences truly represent. These cases raise profound questions about the nature of consciousness, the boundaries between the physical and digital worlds, and what might persist after bodily death. Perhaps our devices, constantly collecting data about our lives, preferences, and patterns, create digital echoes of ourselves that persist. Or perhaps traditional spiritual phenomena are simply finding new mediums of expression in our technology-saturated world. As we conclude our exploration, I invite you to consider your own experiences. Have your devices ever behaved in ways that defy explanation? Have you received messages that seemed impossibly impersonal? Have digital systems revealed information they couldn't possibly know? Whatever your beliefs about the paranormal, one thing is certain: the boundary between technology and the unexplained is becoming increasingly blurred. Our digital devices may be opening doorways we never anticipated. In an age where we're constantly connected, perhaps we should ask ourselves, connected to what exactly, and who or what might be trying to reach us through the screens we've become too dependent on. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the digital unknown. Sleep well tonight, and perhaps consider turning off your devices before you do.
If you do have any comments, leave them down below, and until the next time, have a good evening, wherever you are in the world.